Good evening guys, Christian Evans here and welcome to another episode of our Daily Dose. Today is the 20th of September 2016 and the opportunity that we have been looking at, whoops, random line there, is on the Aussie US dollar. So we can kind of see here on the daily chart, let's delve straight in here, that we've got a quite distinct bearish trend. Kind of a little retracement going on through much of 2016. It's nice to know the big time frames. However, this opportunity is going to be kind of one of those swing trades, or maybe even get it for those day traders there out there as well. Looking just to kind of get a short-term opportunity at this. So it's just the idea here that we know the direction of the trend. Kind of look on the lower time frames, go down to the hourly. And as you can see here, I've already outlined the opportunity that we're looking at here. So you can see through much of August and September, you've kind of got this ebbing and flowing, kind of range-bound activity going on here. The opportunity, as I said, is already on the 15-minute time frame, so you can kind of load that there. And this is a very, very interesting chart for myself. So what you're seeing here is the market rallying through the start of September all the way to the first week there, the 8th, and can retrace the full move to the back down to the downside. It's kind of tried to break through these lows, failed the first time, come back up, made a little retracement there, and kind of pushed forward again, pushed higher, unable to hold that new low, and tried for a third time, unable to meet the original low set by the head. So you can kind of see here we do have an inverse head and shoulders pattern forming, but the important thing to note is the neckline, the pink line here, is not horizontal. As we've kind of already discussed in another example, you tend to have an inverse head and shoulders pattern that kind of looks a bit like this. So it looks very symmetrical. It's kind of quite a random line here, but the important thing to note when you do this is that the actual neckline is horizontal, so you tend to have a break of the neckline and the reversal occurring along a horizontal neckline. Important thing to note is even though every technical analysis book you read about kind of shows this format, you can actually have head and shoulders patterns that are actually kind of tilted and leaning to one side, and that's exactly what we have here. However, they can be traded in exactly the same way. So as you can see here, the market's pushed up very aggressively, and really we didn't even have the retest that I was talking about in previous lessons on breakouts. We didn't have any retest of the neckline, well, not yet anyway. So the market's kind of just pushed higher, targeted role reversal that you have here. So kind of previous level of support, now resistance, and kind of formed what looks like a triangle formation here. This is an important point where we'll actually be kind of looking for opportunities to kind of really see where the direction of the breakout is. It's kind of quite a difficult one here. So this resistance level here is quite an important one. So we kind of highlight that a bit more for you guys to see. But this one here, and that's kind of important based upon if you go left, you kind of got this sort of region here, kind of more or less similar. We've got a support / resistance region based on the role reversal, and the important thing to note here is that this line is directly in the middle of the triangle pattern. So it's not going to be as straightforward as thinking for many of the traders out there who want to trade breakouts, or as soon as this pattern completes we'll go in long, because you don't know how the market's going to react to this black point, this 75.68 handle. You don't know how it's going to react. So you're kind of going to have to play cool on this one. The market could, based on the fact that we haven't had a retest of the head and shoulders pattern already, could look to actually push lower towards that and even beyond. Or alternatively, this level might not actually be that significant. It looks significant based on the bounces we have already, but it might not actually be that significant when it comes to the triangle pattern actually kind of completing. I'll be looking for that to kind of complete at some point tomorrow. Remember, these triangles, the fact that we got converging support and resistance lines actually kind of is a bit of a timing tool. So I'll be putting an alert to around, so we can see here that the market's going to be completing this pattern very early on. So we can kind of be looking at this first thing in the morning, kind of 7 a.m, 6:30, 7 a.m, kind of see what's going on, and that's going to be quite towards the apex of the pattern. Now the important thing to note at this point is the Aussie dollar is kind of different time frame, different time setting compared to us. Their time zone is going to be completely different, so it's going to be relying on the Australian more so, how the Australians are playing it more so than the US and obviously us European traders as well, because, well, European not to be, so to speak, but we're going to need volume in order for this pattern to complete aggressively either way, so we're kind of going to keep our eyes peeled for that. We might wake up tomorrow and actually see that the market hasn't actually done anything in terms of its movement. You might see that it's kind of drifted a little bit, and it kind of makes your pattern a bit, you kind of question whether you've drawn your pattern right. You might end up seeing it just going sideways through this apex line, not really doing much. Alternatively, as we said, we could have that aggressive move. So kind of keep an eye on it. It's one of those difficult ones where it's not going to be as cut and easy to do in terms of just as soon as a breakout is occurred, we can kind of trade that accordingly. It's going to be one of those where you've got to play it close to the line in terms of you've got a resistance level close by, you've got this kind of downward slope and it hasn't had a retest. Will there ever be a retest? You don't know. There's not necessarily a guarantee that you're going to have a retest. You shouldn't be looking to short it, basing it on the idea that you will have one, because some patterns don't. If you've got the aggressive move upon the reversal, enough people, kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy for us technical traders. If we think something's going to happen, everyone jumps in, and you might actually see the market just tail higher. So yeah, guys, it's quite a short video today. I understand some of the other ones have been to the wire in terms of time, so I am working on trying to be a bit more succinct and toning down this Welsh accent. But thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. Keep an eye on this Aussie dollar US dollar pair tomorrow morning. And yes, if you like the idea of the content I'm posting, please like and subscribe, and visit our website at www.sanctuary.co.uk for a bit more information, and to contact us if you have any queries. Alternatively, leave us a comment below. Okay, so thank you very much, and see you tomorrow. Goodbye.